Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a regular cross-stitching update. In this video I will be showing you everything that I have worked on since I think it was the beginning of September when I made my last update video, and there are 5 projects to show. So the first one that I will start with is one that I am working on Fridays. On Fridays I am trying to do like a finish Friday thing where I pick a piece and I work on it every Friday until it is finished. The piece that I am currently working on is Strawberry Farm from Flossie Fox Shop on Etsy. And I've worked on it 2 Fridays since my last video, and here it is now. I think I did like 500 or 600 stitches in between those 2 Fridays, and I am working on trying to get this top section filled in here. And so I'm going to finish this like top section here and then move over, do the other part of the top, and then do the bottom. This piece is currently at 45%, so it is getting close to a finish, which I am excited about because if you haven't watched my other videos that I put out, I am trying to whip down and get my number of whips, which is work in progress. All the cross-stitch projects I have, I'm trying to get that number down. So I think I'm currently at 34. Oh, I want it down. I haven't put a timeline on when I want to like be at like my like final goal number, but I think at the end of this year I would kind of like to be at like 30 whips, which I haven't said before, but yeah, I think at the end of the year I kind of want to be at 30. So if I finish this, I finish Kita, if I can finish Northern Lights, and I would need to finish something else, it's possible. So that's something that I would like to be at the end of the year, and so this really needs to get finished. I will be working on this on Friday until it is finished. Hopefully it won't take me that much longer. I forgot to mention that this is being stitched on a DMC printed Aida that you can get at like Michael's and Joann's and things like that. And I think it's like a 14 count. I think that's all they make this in, which kind of is sad. I wish they made it in like an 18 count because I do like 18 count a little bit more than 14, but I do love the colors that they have of this fabric. They have it in this like purpley pink, there is blues, there's oranges, and it's pretty cheap and it's easy to get because it's at Michael's. The next project I will show that I worked on, and I only did a few hundred stitches on this project, and that is Little Gamer from Medusa Dollmaker, and I have the kit from Gecko Rouge, which is currently no longer available, but you can still find this chart from Medusa Dollmaker's website, which I will have linked in the description box. So here's Little Gamer, and the only place I was working on this chart was in this top corner right here. So one difference between the Gecko Rouge kit and the Medusa Dollmaker chart is that the Gecko Rouge kit has the background charted with blue with these like little stars in the background. So there's a star there and there's like part of one there. The Medusa Dollmaker one I don't think has the blue background, it's just a white background, so that's kind of nice that you don't have to stitch these like 20,000 stitches that are in the background. So that is one difference between the 2 different charts. But I was trying to work on doing some of the background here, and then I would go back and forth between doing like the green that's in the leaf and then the background, because I really don't want to leave the background until the end because that would be a lot and it would be so boring. This is being stitched on a 25 count 2/1 tent stitch, which is just a half cross. So there it is, and this one I would like it to be at 30,000 stitches at the end of the year, and then next year I would be trying to get this one finished. Fingers crossed, hopefully. The next one that I will show is the HAED Stitch Along, and I am doing Merry Mushroom Village Picnic number 3, which is artwork from Amy Stewart, and there is a larger version of this chart on the HAED website if you missed the stitch along. HAED stands for Heaven and Earth Designs too, in case you weren't aware. So I only worked on this for 1 day, so I didn't get a ton done either on this. A lot of my focus in the last week was going into Autumn Harmony when I was stitching because I just wanted to work on her. So here is my HAED Stitch Along chart. And I was working in 2 different areas. So at first I was working up in this area here at the top, and then there's a lot of confetti, so I kind of got tired of that. And so then I started filling in the area around the fairy's face because there's a lot of blocks of some lighter colors. And so I was just kind of doing some block stitching down around the fairy. This one is being stitched on a 28 count 2/1 half cross. And I picked that just because I had this piece of fabric that like barely fit the chart, which is why it's like struggling to fit into this nerd choop. But also just half cross goes faster, and because there are reward charts if you finish or finish 4 pages, I wanted it to go quick. So there is the HAEDSAL stitch along. And then another chart that I worked on. And in my previous video, I had mentioned that I want to pick charts that are at the lowest percentage of my WIPs and then work on those charts so that I can work on charts that don't have a lot done. And one of them is Rainbow Basin from Tilton Crafts. The artwork is by Emperor Pep. And this chart was only at like 20.25%, so it wasn't even at a full percentage. It had almost nothing done. And so I worked on it for a day and I got it. It's almost at 1%, so I do want to keep working on it and get it to at least 1% because, like I said, this isn't a lot done. And last time I didn't even know which direction it went, and so I did start this chart in the right corner, so this is the correct orientation. I know now. And I started in the right corner just because this is a restart, and the first time that I started this chart, I started in the left corner, and I don't want to stitch that left corner again right now. And so I was just like, I'll go to the right corner so it's something different at least. And then I'm also closer to like the girl and some of the other fun things that are in this chart. This is being stitched on a 28 count 2/1 half cross. And now my very last WIP is Autumn Harmony. I try and stitch on her every day, which I haven't been stitching every day again because just busy and stuff like that. Like I met my brother-in-law and sister and nephews and my nephew's girlfriend at the drive-in, and we saw Beetlejuice and Trap, and so that was a fun night, but I didn't stitch that day, and so there's just been things where I haven't been stitching as much, which is fine. So I will insert before where Autumn Harmony was, and I will put in where she is right now. I am currently working on filling in her neck, but then I've also kind of left the neck area. I also realized that this is going into her chest now. So if you can see, her arms are here going off to the side. So this is actually going into her chest. And so we have her neck and then chest, and then I've started filling in more of the hair on both sides just because sometimes I want like funner colors to work on, and so then I work on her hair instead. And she is being stitched on an 18 count 2/1 full cross. And I think I'm going to move the hoop, but I don't know where I want to go yet. So I was thinking about going back up to the top of her just to start working more on the top, but I'm not sure yet where I am going to go. But there she is. There's all of her. And I am still loving stitching on her. And once again, this is another piece that I want to have finished next year. So we will see if next year I have a whole bunch of finishes, hopefully. I'm really hoping to have a lot of full coverage finishes next year. And that would be very helpful in my whole process that I am trying to do currently. So that was all that I have for stitching. I don't really have anything to talk about for reading because I have not been reading a lot because I was watching a TV show. There was a new season of Call the Midwife that came out on Netflix, so I watched the new season. I also went back and was watching some of the old seasons because I just really love that show, and so I was just watching Call the Midwife. And then I've just been spending some time going through other stuff. So I went through and cleaned out my knitting area a little bit. And then I've also been going through and I went through and I pulled out yarns for different projects that I might want to make during the fall and the winter. So I've been trying to go through that. And I think I might have a video where I talk about my fall knitting plans, which I know not everyone would be interested in, which is why I would do it separately, just so if you want to see fall knitting plans, you could see that. But if you're not interested in it, you don't have to see that. And then I've also been making spreadsheets. So I made a spreadsheet with the project that I would like to get finished. That was from my previous video where I talked about like which things I want to finish and which things I don't plan on finishing right away. And so I made a spreadsheet with all of the things that I want to finish, and it has how much I have stitched on each piece, the total stitch count for each piece, the percentage I'm at complete for each piece, and then the stitches remaining. And then at the bottom of the spreadsheet, I added up how many stitches are remaining on all those charts, and it was a large number. And I do plan on making that into a video. I actually already recorded me making the spreadsheet. I just need to do like the little editing to put in like some pictures and stuff like that, and so that will be coming. And so I've been doing some other stuff that's not stitching, just trying to get things organized everywhere else, you know? So that is all that I have for this video though. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!